Hey guys, hope you guys are having a great day. Today I'm bringing to you another tutorial. Last tutorial had to do with the width tool, and this tutorial has to do with the Pathfinder panel in Adobe Illustrator CC. I've been using Illustrator for about 13, almost 14 years now, and I didn't even know about the Pathfinder panel until about maybe 5 or 6 years ago. And I have to say that once I started using Pathfinder, it changed everything. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. I hope it teaches you a little bit something. And remember, if you have any questions whatsoever about this video or any other videos I've had, please leave a comment below. All right, everybody, enjoy. Okay, everybody, so let's get started. Now, for the most part, when you open up Illustrator, the Pathfinder panel is usually in this right-handed column right here. But for all of those of you who do not have the Pathfinder in there, I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way. So you're going to go to Window, and you're going to go down to Pathfinder. It's right below Navigator. Hit Pathfinder, and this is the panel right here. So we're only going to be talking about, in this first section here, we're going to talk about the shape modes, Unite, Minus Front, Intersect, Exclude, and then we're going to talk about Divide. Now, below this section here, I have a group of faces two faces that I'm going to use to demonstrate another attribute, which is trim. These other four, merge, crop, outline, minus back, we're not going to really talk about those. I don't really use them a whole lot, so we're not going to really talk about those. If you guys want to know more about them, you can probably find them in other videos. I just never use them in my illustrations, so I decided not to really share much about them. All right, so let's get started. So this first one here, we're going to talk about Unite. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the button Unite. Now, if you see what happened here, basically it combined It combined both of these shapes here to create one solid shape. What it also did was it took the attributes of the topmost element and it applied it to the entire shape. So when we drag this over here, we see that it's still in multiply. Now, the next mode that we're going to talk about is minus front. So as the attribute might suggest, what it's going to do is it's going to subtract the frontmost element from the rest of the shapes. So what that means here is it means that this magenta colored is going to be cut out of this blue color here, or blue circle. So we're going to go ahead and hit that, minus front. There we go. So it also took out this chunk here, and that's because what it does is it doesn't just take out this outer edge here, it takes out the inner edge as well. Now, the next two that we're going to talk about is intersect and exclude. Now, the interesting about these are that they are complete opposites of each other. So I'm going to go ahead and hit intersect, and what it did was it took the centermost element, specifically the frontmost element, and it cut out everything that was outside of it. Now I'm going to do the exclude here on this one, and it does the exact opposite. It removes the centermost pieces but keeps the outside pieces at the same time, applying the frontmost effect to the entire new shape. These are really interesting to use. They help out a lot, specifically when you're trying to do some sort of like, let's see, what's a good example? Maybe if you're doing type and you're wanting to do like a 0 or an O, and you want to remove the inside cap, you can actually just hit the exclude button and it will remove that cap. In fact, let me just quick show you how you would do that. I am by no means a typographer, so please excuse me if I get this wrong. So we're going to just center this here. Blech. Technical difficulties. There we go. So let's align these here. Whoops. Change that selection. There we go. And then we hit exclude, and there we go. We have a perfect O. It could also be an I. It could also be a tire. So this really comes in handy a lot when it comes to those type of illustrations. Now, the final thing that we're going to talk about is divide. So I just hit divide, and it doesn't really look like it did anything. Well, in fact, it actually divided up every single piece, every single shape. It kept all the attributes that they have, but it separated all of them from each other. I always love using divide, and we're actually going to use divide in relation to in relation to trim. So we're going to scroll down here to the faces. Now, I'm going to explain this because there's a specific use case for this that I use. I do a lot of freelance work for companies who are creating websites or creating elements for their websites. And so a lot of them upload SVGs to their website because it's a lot, the file size is a lot lower. It keeps a lot better quality of the illustration, especially when it's being created in vector form. So I ran into this interesting problem where I created a bunch of illustrations for a client, and the client came back to me and was like, hey, we plugged all these things in and something went crazy. Instead of seeing this here on the left, they saw this on the right. And so basically I had to go through and redo every single illustration that was up there. Trust me, you do not want to go through this headache when you're dealing with clients and you're just trying to get paid. You do not want to have to deal with this. So what you can do is, instead of doing clipping masks, because that's what all this is all the clipping mask undone. This is all one big clipping mask, specifically the neck, the tongue shadow, the tongue itself, and the teeth. All of this right here was clipping masks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to go about using divide and trim to recreate this illustration, but with no clipping masks. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take care of the neck. I don't know why, but whenever I work on these illustrations, I always go for the neck first. So I'm going to select the neck, copy it. I'm going to select the shadow here, Command F for paste in front. I'm then going to remove the fill, select the shadow again, and I'm going to hit divide. Now, I'm about to introduce you to a fun feature with Pathfinder, which is trim. So when you're having to deal with some really, really picky illustrations, this is going to come in much more handy than it does now. But this part right here still has that no fill attribute that the original one had. So I'm going to hit trim, and it removes that attribute. Now I'm going to move it over here, and I'm going to create a perfect example to help show why this is such a great feature to have when you're dealing with all this stuff. So I'm going to create a triangle here, but I think I'm going to increase the amount of points. There we go. But I don't want to have this part. I want to go and change this to no fill. I'm going to select the shape. I'm going to hit divide. But now what I would have to do is I would have to go in and I would have to click each one of these things to try and get rid of them. But when I hit trim, they're gone. And then I can just select this and delete it. And there we go. So much quicker than having to go through. When you look at it with just one single element, it doesn't seem like it's much of a time saver. But when you're having to do this to a lot of illustrations, it really, really makes a lot more sense. So I've done that here where I did the trim. Now all I have to do, excuse me, is select this and hit delete. And there we go. There's now when we hover over this, we have this here, nothing there. It's a perfect cut. So now we're going to zoom in. And we're going to take care of, there's actually a clipping mask on here I didn't realize. So let me actually remove that. So we're going to first take care of the shadow here. So we're going to select the tongue, copy it. We're going to select the shadow, paste in front, remove fill, select the shadow, divide, and trim. And now we're just going to select this excess, delete it. Do the same thing for the actual tongue itself. Copy the back, remove fill, select the tongue, divide, trim. See how quick this is going? So we still do the same thing for the teeth, and this is the final one too. Boom. All done. Now you see it here. It looks exactly, I'm going to move the Pathfinder so I can zoom in some. It looks exactly the same. There's really no difference except for the fact that when I hover over this element here on this one, it's just regular, it's just a cutout. Same thing with the teeth, just a cutout. This cutout, not cutout. So this will really save you in the long run when you're working on these type of freelance projects and things like that, knowing how to use the Pathfinder tool and being able to do these fun tricks. I would definitely suggest that you go and you practice this, create some sort of illustration, or take an existing illustration that you have that has clipping masks and try to remove them and use the Pathfinder tool to edit them. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Now, if you guys have any questions whatsoever, like I said, just leave a comment below. But please subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be coming out with a lot more videos such as this, tutorials, vlogs, art, illustration pieces, speed drawings, and things like that. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys create something amazing with the Pathfinder tool. It has really helped to increase my skill level and help make my illustrations so much better, and I'm sure that's going to do the same thing for you. Well, that's it for today's video, and remember, stay passionate, stay positive, and stay creative. All right, everybody, bye.